You ever get that gut feeling that something's wrong, but your heart keeps saying, no, it can't be true? That's exactly where I was, until the day my whole world flipped upside down. One moment, I was a loving husband providing for my family. The next, I found out my wife had taken my family's money and brought another man's baby into our home. But what she didn't expect was that I'd turn her betrayal into the biggest revenge of her life. It started 3 years ago. My wife, Clara, had been distant, emotionally cold, always distracted, always on her phone. I worked long hours running my family's construction business, trying to build us a better future. My parents trusted her completely, even giving her full access to some of our joint accounts for house expenses. At first, I didn't think twice. Clara was charming. She knew how to win people's hearts, especially my mother's. My mom once said, "She's like the daughter I never had." I wish I'd told her then that she'd regret those words. Over time, strange things started happening. Payments went missing. Suppliers called saying bills hadn't been cleared. I confronted Clara, but she laughed it off. "You're so forgetful lately," she said. "Don't stress, I'll handle it." Then came the day that broke everything. Clara told me she was pregnant. I should have been thrilled, except something didn't feel right. The timing was off. We hadn't been close for weeks. Still, I pushed my doubts away, thinking maybe I was just being paranoid. Months passed, and Clara gave birth to a baby boy. My parents were overjoyed, showering her with gifts, opening new savings accounts for the baby, and even transferring a large sum for the child's future. Clara seemed radiant, but I noticed how our neighbor Jake seemed to visit more often. He'd bring baby toys or offer to help with things around the house. He was always smiling too much around Clara. It all came crashing down one evening. Jake's wife, a kind woman named Laura, showed up at my door in tears. She said she'd found messages, hundreds of them, between Clara and Jake. Photos, secret meetings, conversations about the baby. My heart dropped. I didn't react in front of Laura. I thanked her, closed the door, and went straight to Clara. She denied it all at first, but when I showed her the screenshots, her face went pale. Then she whispered, "Please, it's not what you think." "Not what I think," I said. "You used my family's money to raise your lover's child." She broke down crying, saying she'd made a mistake, that it was just emotional, but I'd already made up my mind. I didn't scream. I didn't throw her out that night. I simply said, "Okay." That okay scared her more than anything. Over the next week, I gathered every document, every transaction, every text I could find. My brother, who handled our company's accounts, helped me trace the money Clara had transferred. And sure enough, over $80,000 had been moved to a private account under her name. She'd been siphoning money for months, buying expensive things and paying for Jake's investments. I stayed calm. I acted normal. Then one afternoon, I asked her to come with me to my parents' house for dinner. She hesitated, but I told her they wanted to talk about expanding our home. The moment she walked in, my parents, my brother, and Laura, Jake's wife, were all seated. On the table were printed bank statements, photos, and messages. Clara froze. My father spoke first, his voice like steel. "Clara, we treated you like family. You stole from us. You lied to all of us." She tried to speak, but my mom cut her off. "We trusted you with everything, even our savings for our grandchild, and now we don't even know if he's our blood." The silence that followed was suffocating. Then I stood up, handed her a folder, and said, "Inside are the divorce papers, the financial evidence, and custody arrangements. You'll sign them, or we'll take this to court." Her face crumbled. "Please, don't ruin me," she whispered. I looked her dead in the eye. "You did that yourself." The next day she moved out. Jake tried to defend her, saying it wasn't that serious, but Laura had already thrown him out too. A few months later, the DNA test came in. The baby wasn't mine. My family lawyer filed charges for embezzlement and fraud. The court awarded me full ownership of everything she tried to take: the house, the savings, and even her car, since it was bought with stolen money. Clara lost everything: her reputation, her lover, and the comfortable life she'd built off our family's trust. As for me, I rebuilt, slowly. My parents stood by me, and we restored what she'd broken. The last time I saw Clara was in court. She looked tired, defeated, and whispered, "I never thought you'd go this far." I smiled and said, "Neither did I, until you made me." Sometimes revenge doesn't come from anger. It comes from quiet, patient justice. If you like the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.